Hi everybody and welcome back to Shrimp Lab USA. Hugo Lopez here and doing our third installment of the Breeding Your Shrimp for Profit series, where we're setting up our tanks from the beginning and then it's going to go all the way through getting shrimp, raising them, helping them breed, and then starting out your own colony, and it's actually going to produce you hopefully a little bit of money or a lot of joy. So that's what we're here for. I appreciate all the support. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click below and subscribe. It really helps me out and helps me produce more of this content, which I want to keep doing for you guys. Everything's been going great. We just hit like the 2-week part of the cycle, so I'm going to be going over where the tank's at now and the next steps, and then also going to be doing a little like review on the soil that I'm using. There's been some good and some bad, and some stuff that I didn't expect from the soil, so we're going to be going into that, and that's the Ista Shrimp PH 5.5. It's known for getting really low pH, which is really good for breeding higher end Caribbean shrimp, but it's done some weird stuff since I put it in there. I didn't remineralize the water at all, and one of my friends was like, hey, watch out, that stuff spikes TDS, and I was like, what? So I went and took my TDS pen and I put it in there, and the TDS was 289 when I tested it, ppms, which is crazy. I put only RO water in there, so it should have been at the most like 10 ppms, or sorry, yeah, 10 parts per million for the TDS. Regardless, it should have been a lower TDS, and that's strange to me, especially because on the bag it says you can add shrimp in at any point or instantly, which is crazy because you don't know what your final TDS is going to be. The water could be unstable and moving around, which could totally affect your shrimp, and that's why also we test everything out before we do it. Don't believe a bag. It is testing really low pH, which is great, and through water changes that we're going to be doing anyways through the cycling process, it's going to be fine. I'm going to bring it back down to 0 or close to 0, and then I'll remineralize it right before we put our initial test shrimp in there. So I ran all the hard tests on there, and it came out really good. There was still a little bit of ammonia in there, which I expected. We're only on, week 2. Then there's also, there was still some nitrite, which means that the process has started and the nitrifying bacteria is working. And then there was a lot of nitrate, which is also a good sign. That means that the whole process is going through and we're seeing like activity from that beneficial bacteria in the tank. So the cycling process is happening. I'm really happy about this. I performed 1/3 water change on there, and it ended up bringing the TDS down to about 208. And like I said, I'll be doing a couple more water changes. Usually right at the end, I'll do about an 80% water change, and then I'll add back in and get the water perfect at that point. And the beneficial bacteria actually will live in your filter, in your substrate, and all these other places in there. It's not just in the water column, so it shouldn't be affecting the beneficial bacteria too much by doing a big water change right before we add in our shrimp. Also, we're going to be adding in a smaller amount of shrimp. If you were to be, if you're putting in, the difference between 10 shrimp and 40 shrimp is a lot. So, the bio load from a bigger group of shrimp, you're going to need a stronger beneficial bacteria colony alive in there. So just take that into consideration, but I'm planning on starting this tank out with 10 or less shrimp, so I can do the process along with you guys and grow a small colony into a big colony. And yeah, so I'm super excited. The tank looks really good. We were talking about biofilm and algae last time, and that green cottony algae. Well, if you see in the video right here, it's happening. Which I'm really happy about. Also, you can look at that calyx or Lubao ball that I put into the tank to kind of start the cycle out, and just look at the crazy biofilm and growing on this thing. I mean, that right there is a buffet for shrimp. It's their favorite food. They'll be on that thing even when you can't see it on there, so they're going to be stoked on that when they go in there. But yeah, there's clear film all over. We got the green fluffy algae. We even have a little bit of browner algae in there, and that's just part of the process in a few different kinds. We're keeping our eyes open for copepods and other signs of life that are coming into the tank, but with still there being a little bit of ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate, I'm not expecting those till it starts to level out a little bit. But somewhere between 2 to 4 weeks, we should start seeing them if the tank is doing the process healthy and right. I'm gonna keep this video pretty short and pretty simple, more of an update. I re-added in Bacter AE. This is the second time I added it in there. I'm probably not gonna add any more in there. This stuff is great for creating biofilm and promoting just like good growth of algae and biofilm in your tank, food for baby shrimp, all that. It can be dangerous if you have shrimp already in your tank. It's such a powerful bacteria that it'll actually rob the water of oxygen. So they give you a pretty big spoon in here. I use that size spoon when I'm cycling, a 10-gallon, probably for each 10 gallons, I'll put 1 scoop in. I put 2 scoops in so far, and I'm not gonna add any more. I can still see it in the tank, you can see it in the video. It's gonna just keep doing its thing as long as it has food and stuff. But yeah, Bacter AE is really good. Just like I said, watch out if you're feeding a tank and you're trying to create more biofilm in a tank that already has shrimp in it. Use a tiny dose. People say the size of like a pinhead or a pin tip, but literally like a tiny little dusting will promote a lot of growth inside there, and without having that effect. Because you'll see, if you go online or whatever, you'll see horror stories of people putting in the prescribed scoop into their tank and coming back later and everybody's dead, and it's just they suffocated. It's horrible, but still a great product if you know how to use it. Just know what you're doing before you put anything inside of your tank. Besides that, I added the same Vin ecological bacteria that we did last time. I just put another scoop inside there. I'm probably going to finish doing that. Don't really need to add anything else into the tank. I added, last thing was another little dose of that Fluval ecological bacteria. Probably again, the last time I'm going to be doing that. From this point on, we should have the tank going. You know what I mean? We've added bacteria, we've added stuff to keep that bacteria alive, and now we just got to watch it, and we're going to do water changes to take out those nitrates once they are created. And then, but yeah, we only have to do that once a week, once every 2 weeks. That's okay when you're cycling, because like I said, at the very end of the cycle, right before we remineralize it for shrimp, we're going to do a big water change and then get it perfect. Save that shrimp water, give it to your house plants. They will grow double. It won't burn them, and it's filled with soluble fertilizers for them that they love. The next couple of videos I'm going to be doing more into like preparing to buy shrimp, which shrimp to buy, maybe a tour of my shrimp room and some of the colonies that I have going right now. But again, I appreciate all you guys' support so much. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for following, and if there's anything that I didn't go over, please let me know. Also, like I said, if I mess anything up, I'm gonna let you guys know. And in my first tank video, I add in a little, I can put it up, a little rock with a piece of driftwood and a little plant on it. It's actually a Nubius, I think Nana. It's the small Nubius, and I have that. I have Bucephalandra. It's really, you just want a plant, it doesn't matter what plant it is, even Java fern or something. You really just, the more natural things you have in there to suck up that nitrate, the better. But on the same point, as you can see in some of my tanks, I have, you know, rocks and little pieces of driftwood and some plants and stuff. More recently, and over the more I do this hobby, I've realized that the simpler the tank really is, the better. I know you think, okay, well, you want your shrimp to be comfortable and have a place to hide and blah, 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 which is true, and I want my shrimp to be in the happiest place ever. But since we don't have any other predators in the tank, no fish, nothing else, it's okay to have a more bare tank, because really they shouldn't be hiding. They don't have to hide from anything. They might get a little scared when they see you, but you know, they will have those spots too for you know, females when they're buried to kind of get away, so maybe a little bit of moss, or you know, and around the filters you'll see them hiding and stuff like that. You definitely want them a place when they're weak to protect themselves, especially if you have multiple males. If your ratio is good, you don't have to worry as much, but that would be the only thing I would consider. The thing I like about it is it's a lot easier to keep track of your shrimp. You'll never, you know, have that random shrimp die, which happens, and then not notice it, and have your water get funked up and then maybe lose more shrimp just because of that. Where if you were able to look into your tank, see everybody, do a little head count if you have to, or you know, see that body if it isn't there, notice that there's snails on it or that the other shrimp are eating it or whatever, you can get that out of there as fast as you can and give yourself a chance to not, you know, spike the water and kind of have that horrible domino effect that can happen in shrimp keeping if one shrimp dies or if the water gets a little foul. Also, like everybody, you know, that's what you'll start seeing, cloudy water and stuff like that. So I mean, be on top of it. Do whatever makes you happy. Decorated tanks are amazing. I have way too many in this original Neocaridina tank that I have here. There's like, I need to actually clean it out a lot, but there's also like 300 shrimp in there that I'm gonna be selling a lot of soon. So thank you so much. Next videos are going to be coming a lot sooner than the last ones, and yeah, subscribe and leave a comment, and thank you so much for all the support, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thanks.